Are your relationships still plagued by drama, stress, and constant conflict? If so, you are in the right place. I'm Osamor, and in this video, we'll explore 10 relationship minimalist habits to help you simplify your relationships and cultivate deeper, more fulfilling connections. Relationship minimalism isn't about isolation or detachment. It's about focusing on what truly matters in your relationships and letting go of the rest. As an introvert, I used to dread social gatherings and often felt overwhelmed and stressed by the demands of maintaining relationships. However, by implementing some of these relationship minimalist habits, I've been able to step outside my comfort zone and try to build stronger connection with others, to the point that my mom even thinks I've become a bit of an extrovert. Let's start with the foundation of strong relationships: mindful communication. I used to be a terrible listener, always thinking about what to say next while the other person is still talking. And this often led to misunderstandings and hurt feelings. But by practicing active listening, I've been able to connect with people on a much deeper level than I used to. How does this work? 1. Active listening. Give your full attention to the speaker, don't interrupt, and ask clarifying questions. 2. Speak your truth. Be honest and authentic in your communication. There is nothing as good as you having someone that, no matter how bad it might sound, they are always honest with whatever they say. Except you want to be known for the person that always has something to say, but is usually lies. 3. Avoid assumptions. Don't jump to conclusions. Instead, ask questions to clarify for more understanding. And don't think the person might think you are not actually listening. With this asking clarifying question, the person will actually think, okay, even though you might not necessarily get what the person is saying immediately, at least you are making effort to want to know. So a tip for this would be: use I statements to express your feelings without blaming or accusing. So now let me give you an example. Instead of you saying you always do this, say I feel hurt when you do this. So this, don't just take what I'm saying as that is it. I want you to actually try it. Try with someone maybe that hurt you recently, and use that framework and comment below the results. Setting boundaries is essential for maintaining healthy relationships and preventing burnout. I'm a people pleaser, and it's actually something I'm in process of working on. And this actually makes me put others' needs before my own. And this led to stress and resentment. By setting boundaries, I've learned to prioritize my own well-being without feeling guilty. How you can set boundaries: 1. Communicate clearly. Express your needs and expectations directly and assertively. Don't say, I don't want to hurt them, I don't want to, be rude. If you don't say it, they won't know that that is wrong. So if someone does something to you, please, when you did this and this and this, I don't really appreciate it and I would love if you can stop. 2. Practice self-care. Prioritize activities that recharge you. I know it might sound a bit selfish, but one thing I've learned is that, it's not actually selfish. If you want to be selfless to other people, you have to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, then how do you want to take care of those other people? 3. Learn to say no. Politely decline requests that don't align with your priorities. In today's world and in today's age, honestly, this skill would be like among some of the top skills people need to develop, to actually get to their goals. If you can see, now you see adverts of this opportunity, this shiny opportunity to make 10k a month. You see another one, 10k a month. You see this one, 10k a month. If you can say, okay, I'm focusing on this, any other thing that comes in my way is a no, as long as it doesn't contribute to this one thing. In today's digital age, it's easy to get lost in our screens. A digital detox can help you reconnect with yourself and your loved ones. So I actually did a video focusing on this very aspect of digital, minimalism. You can check it out somewhere on the screen. I used to be constantly glued to my phone, watching Netflix, scrolling on Instagram, and neglecting my real life relationships. But by implementing a digital detox, I've been able to focus on what truly matters. How to digital detox? 1. Set screen time limits. Use your phone settings to limit your screen time that you spend on your phone. 2. Create a phone-free zone. So I want you to designate specific areas in your home as phone-free zones. For me, that's my office where I'm currently shooting this video now. Especially when I want to work. I don't usually like to bring my phone in except I need it. So you can do same for somewhere in your home. 3. Mindful social media use. I want you to be intentional about your social media consumption. So one things you can try are turning off your notifications, or you can actually schedule times on your calendar to actually go through social media. So that's one thing I personally like to do, because nowadays, I don't know if you've experienced this before, but maybe you just pick up your phone and wonder why you picked it up. Have you ever kind of, sat down and thought about that whole process of what just happened? You didn't want to pick up your phone, but all of a sudden you saw your phone in your hand and the phone is unlocked, and you're wondering, why did I pick up this phone? So it's more of like, okay, I said I was going to spend 30 minutes or 1 hour on social media, and that is what I did. Rather than I said I was going to spend 30 minutes or 1 hour working, and I instead spent it on social media. Gratitude is a powerful tool for improving your relationships and overall well-being. I used to focus on the negative aspects of my relationships, trying to find the fault in the other person, not myself. I had that kind of mindset of, this happens in a relationship, it's you that did not call me, it's you that did not text me. I never thought of, oh, maybe what if it was me? But by actually, shifting my focus to gratitude, I've been able to constantly try to find the good in others and use the bad aspect that, most of them have, to learn and grow. How to practice gratitude. 1. Keep a gratitude journal. Write down things you are grateful for each day. 2. Express gratitude verbally. Tell your loved ones how much you really appreciate them. I'll be honest, this is one I struggle with. That express gratitude verbally. I feel it's not something I'm, the best at, but it's not an excuse to not be good at it. I'll just recommend you to try. 3. Practice mindfulness. Focus on the present moment and positive aspects of your life, not just the negatives. Because I know most times it's easy for you to see the negatives. The negatives are always plain sight for you to see. But one thing I want you to know is that if you look very well, there are a lot of positives for you to also be grateful for. Holding on to past grudges and resentment can weigh you down and damage your future relationships. I used to dwell on past mistakes and arguments, thinking of ways I could have handled that situation better, or maybe ways I could have said that particular thing better. But you know what? It's okay. It has happened and you can't go back and change it. So instead of, you just, bothering yourself about those things, I would recommend you use those lessons and apply them into your future relationships. How to let go of the past. 1. Practice forgiveness. And I know this is more of like the case of, oh wow, it's easy to say forgive, but it's not actually as easy to do it. And I totally understand. But one thing I would say is that if you can see from this view, you forgiving that person that has done you wrong is not actually going to benefit that person as much as it will benefit you. If you say, okay, think about it, that person would definitely move on. That person would marry someone else. That person would, do business with someone else and different things like that. That person will still move on. But when you haven't moved on, who is holding you back? You are holding yourself. I'm not saying, you should forget about it. But you just, releasing it in your heart that, okay, I've let this person go. I've let this certain thing go. That is all I ask. 2. Mindful meditation. Use mindfulness techniques to calm your mind and reduce stress. 3. Focus on the present. Shift your attention to the present moment. You aren't in control of what has happened, but guess what? You are in control of what can happen. Quality time is more important than quantity when it comes to building strong relationships. I used to think that spending a lot of time with people was actually the key to building strong relationships, but I was actually very wrong. I then realized that actually it's the quality of time you spend with those people, not the quantity, that truly matters. How to focus on quality time. 1. Be present. When you are with loved ones, be fully present and engaged. not you thinking about work or that project and different things like that. Because most times they can tell when you are there physically with them, but your mind isn't there. 2, plan meaningful activities. Engage in activities that you enjoy together. 3, limit distractions. Put away your phone and other distractions. You don't want to be talking to someone and they are just on their phone and claiming that they are listening to what you are saying. Think about it. Would you want to have that situation happen to you? If your answer is no, so don't do it to someone else. Active listening is a powerful tool for building strong relationships. By giving your full attention to the speaker, you can foster deeper connections and avoid misunderstandings. Tips for active listening. 1, maintain eye contact. Show that you are engaged by looking the person in the eye. And if that's too, cringe for you, you can just look at the person's nose, this area, and just focus your eyes there. 2, avoid distractions. Put away your phone and focus on the conversation. I don't want you to be talking to someone and I'm seeing you doing like this. The person is talking and saying, You are not listening. The best you can do is that if that phone is actually important that time, sorry, please, can we get to this conversation sometime later? 3, ask questions. Clarify any points you don't understand. This communicates to the person that you are actually listening and you actually want to understand, even though maybe at the moment you don't understand. 4, paraphrase. Restate what the speaker has said in your own words and give them an example. Honestly, I've learned that this is a very great thing you can do when you are speaking to someone. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in distractions and lose sight of the present moment. By practicing mindfulness, you can improve your relationships and overall well-being. I am someone who barely thinks of the present moment. It's more of what is ahead, and which for someone like me, it just feels like we are not making any progress. We are just stuck where we are and we are moving at a very, very slow pace. But by me trying to practice mindfulness, I've learned to appreciate the present moment, which are those small little wins that you have on the journey to that big goal you have for yourself. And that's also helped me to connect with others on a deeper level, kind of trying to find resonating points. This person maybe had an amazing week. You were able to take this small win. I can come, okay, this is my own small win. And then you start seeing that bond starting to grow. Tips for being present. 1, mindful breathing. Take deep, slow breaths to calm your mind. Some of us go into some conversations and we are just tensed. And sometimes that kind of reflects in the conversation. Maybe we just did something and we are angry, and someone just came excited, wants to share something with you, or we kind of just reflect that anger on that person. So in that case, just take deep breaths, slow your breathing down. 2, practice meditation. So in this case, I don't actually meditate, so I actually use this as journaling, which I've already said earlier in the video. So if you can dedicate time each day, preferably in the morning, to meditation or mindfulness exercises. 3, disconnect. Set aside specific times to disconnect from technology, those phones, those laptops. Actually, I would recommend this time, for people that have, really thick schedules. This time can actually be, let's say, an hour or 30 minutes before bed. Maybe if you want, you can actually journal during that time. Conflict is a natural part of any relationship. However, how you handle that conflict can significantly impact the strength of your bond. I used to avoid conflict at all costs. Anything that will cause fights, I'm sorry, don't worry about it. Just leave it. Forget about it. Responses like that. But then I actually thought and saw that these things or this attitude actually led to resentment and unspoken feelings. That in the long run is a recipe for big, massive failure. But by learning how to address issues directly and calmly, I've been able to resolve conflict more effectively and strengthen my relationships. Just keep in mind, I'm not perfect in this. I'm still trying to improve it, but it's definitely something I've noticed and I've become conscious of, and I'm trying to level up. So you should as well. Tips for constructive conflict resolution. 1, active listening. Listen carefully to the other person's perspective and keep short. I recently read this in the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, and I saw a line that said, if you have the ability to, see something from the other person's perspective as well as your own, that is an amazing skill to develop. And I saw this recently at work. My manager, a guy called, okay, I want to come in by, so time. My manager was like, okay, we'll get you in by 3:45. He came, rushed to the shop saying, okay, my manager told him he was going to be here or should be here in 45 minutes. So me being there, experiencing both situations, my manager wasn't wrong and he wasn't wrong. So if they were to listen to each other's perspective, they will notice that, okay, it was just a clear misunderstanding and no one is at fault. 2. Use I statements. Express your feelings without blaming. 3. Find common ground. Look for areas of agreement, not areas where you are right and the other person is wrong, so that you can feel in your mind that I actually won this argument, and you know deep down that you didn't win nothing. 4. Compromise. You will need to meet the other person halfway. Don't be too rigid. No one is perfect. And hear me out, I don't mean you should just compromise on any of your values or any of your standards because of somebody. I would recommend that you have standards that are non-negotiable. You have values that are non-negotiable. Honesty can be one that is a non-negotiable for you. So don't compromise to say, okay, because I want you to be my friend, I will compromise on my standard of honesty. Taking care of yourself is essential for building strong relationships. When you prioritize self-care, you are better equipped to show up for others. Tips for self-care. 1. Mindfulness and meditation. Practice mindfulness to reduce stress and anxiety. 2. Physical activity. Engage in regular physical activities to boost your mood and energy levels. 3. Eating healthy. Fuel your body with nutritious foods. 4. And very important, quality sleep. Prioritize sufficient sleep to recharge your mind and body. And 5. Hobbies and interests. Spend time on activities you actually enjoy. By incorporating these relationship minimalist habits into your life, you can cultivate deeper, more meaningful connections with your loved ones. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. So start small, be patient, and enjoy the journey. But this is just one aspect of your life you can apply minimalism. You could also apply it in your digital life, your financial life, and even your home. If you need help with all those, I have 10 habits you can apply in 2025 for each of those different aspects. Click here to watch the videos.